Hello, this is Vulturefire, and I am back on this save that I've decided to call Crystal Crashing. I'm not sure what order I'm going to release things in. For y'all, this will possibly be the day after the last video, but for me it has been a few days. We are now on version 6230, and I have been recording a lot of 5 idle runs, which this is not. This is going to be a 0 idle run because this is on a save that has not even beaten depth 3 yet. And that is our goal for this video, is to pick up our very first depth 3 win using our level 3 Rowden. Unfortunately, it seems we still do not have access to the level 4 passive, which I would really like to have. So we're going to start by looking at the card pool. Flash Freeze is interesting. So it has changed. It used to just always be Frost and then like it applied Frostbite if the thing was frozen. Now it is card draw if it targets something that's already frozen. Or if the frost bar on that thing is empty, which is not, it isn't frozen. That is, if it has 0 frost, then it will apply 25 frost. I have no clue if that's good. I'm going to increase the mana and twinning ritual. I think both of those are promising. Arcane Silence, because we are doing a depth 3 run. Singularity tends to be pretty good. I'm less certain about Blizzard. I'm less certain about Ether Storm. Mana Eruption is usually good. Elemental Barrier is usually fine. We'll try Flash Freeze. Magic Cannon I do not love. I don't hate Blizzard. We can try Blizzard. I don't know if we're going to have stuff frozen consistently enough for Frost Fracture. Ether Storm usually we take to help with Drakes, but Drakes are not going to be a thing we're fighting this run, so yeah, we'll take. I still like it more than Magic Cannon, I think. Icy Chains is good. Mana Blast seems potentially good. Spry Slice is interesting, but I don't think we want it. Icy Concentration, Mind Seed, Runic Focus, Mental Growth, these all seem good. I think we probably also want the Sharpened Senses. We definitely want the Cleansing Shield. We definitely want the Brainstorm. Definitely want Mind Shield. I haven't tried using Mana. It's been a while since I've used Mana Barrier. It has changed several times since the last time. Obviously, Arcane Nova is great. Shatter is probably fine. I don't think Scrying Blast is where we're at. I think Spirit Helmet is another way to get tough. Like Chilling Focus. Trying to think what else we might want. We could end up building a little bit towards Frostbite, but I don't know that that's what I want to do. I will take the Mind Blast, although it is weaker when we don't have, when we're having like manually gain our own growth. We don't have any automatic growth gain. Weird Concentration is a card that always ends up not being what I want. I don't think Arcane Strike is where we're going with this deck. I could see taking Hone potentially, because I think that's our only source of critical. Yeah, it is. I think we are going to add Hone. Try and look at things through our starting deck and if there's anything we want to change there. I think we were pretty happy with our starting deck. It's a bit low on damage, but it ended up being mostly fine. Oh, we have, that's right, this is retained now, and we got Ferric Rime. Question is, how much mana can I really afford to fit into this deck? Because I would love to have both of these. I don't think we can afford to cut the block. Well, maybe we can. It does make our deck even more expensive, but that card is so good. I want to fit a Ferric Rime in, but I don't think I can. I also want Keen Contemplation, but I don't think I can justify that over the Meditate. I don't hate putting Ferric Rime in the pool, though. I would be fine picking that up later, I think. I absolutely would love to find a Keen Contemplation later. Let's see. Peace of Mind is not default anymore, I think. It is not. So this is just going to have to be good enough for now. We will see how it goes. We aren't ever getting this poison one, unless we just happen to find poison card, which seems a little unlikely. You know, we were definitely going through Crystal Valley. Robotic Mass actually kind of drops some cards that are nice. Soothing Skies I kind of like, but I would like, but like Week in the Woods did good work for us. We're fighting Bea later. Yeah, I think we go here. I think Shocking Grasp and Week in the Woods are both reasons to go here. Plus, of course, Mana Font. This is a pretty good map, actually, because I wouldn't hate having evasion-related cards. although we did not get a chance to get that other thing we wanted. The other option is like we just go through some events. I kind of want Mana Dance, but I also don't hate just getting this 50-50 shot at Arcane Aegis and then just dodging a couple fights. There's some good A1 events. And then we'll still get 2 elites after the mid-boss. Yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, we're looking at taking a little bit of damage here, but that's what Drain Life is for. And we can hold that until next turn, which is amazing. Because it means that we don't have to waste a freeze right now. So we would much rather be freezing on this turn. Freeze you, I think, because you're the one who's most likely to be dead, and thus not giving us value. There's an outside chance this kills the front one, and hey, you look at that. I guess the freeze in that case didn't do anything for us, but it gave us the mighty but it didn't matter. Mind Blast is okay, but I don't know that we can scale it enough yet. I'd rather have the Brainstorm for now, I think. This is the worst possible event, because it forces a fight and it doesn't give us anything for it. It's just, we like have to take a card reward. There's a chance to give us Arcane Aegis, but overall, probably the absolute worst event to show up. Oh. Let's see. Trying to think how we play out our hand here. If we do this, we get a little bit of shock, but we don't really care. There's no way for us to get out to do everything we want to do. This works out pretty well, though. Because that'll, yeah. So now we just need 1 Arcane Detonation to kill the back one. The poison's a little annoying, but we can deal with it. Alright, I think we're going to Arcane Detonate you. Start by doing that. I could freeze you. I don't actually hate that. Oh, but then I couldn't kill you. Well. Getting that kill is more important, even if it means we're going to lose a little bit of health here. That's what Drain Life is for still. Although, Drain Life is on the other side of our deck. We're not going to be able to kill this turn anyway, so. And we heal, I think, 1 after combat. Yeah, so we go back up to 99 out of 100. These are both tempting. I think we're going to take this for now, because we may not get another shot at it. Although, we've got a 50% chance to get it here, but it's not the card we want. There's not much we can do about that. Let's see, do we just go for a lot of damage here? Instead of applying weak? I think that makes sense. I don't remember what buff is getting set up along with this. Okay, it is Death Spores. That's fine. Because we still have, I believe, Infuse in the last card in the deck is Infuse, which is the card we wanted to play this turn. Go ahead and get the extra shield up. The annoying thing here is now we have to deal with this powerful. And this is the problem, like, our deck is almost entirely even costed stuff, which can be a problem with the focus. Which I think was a problem I hit last time and I just forgot because it's been, like I said, a few days. We have Adept. We can freeze you out. And I could play this, but I think I'd rather just get out more damage. Even though that does mean they get more powerful. Oh, that doesn't actually work the way I was hoping it would, because that wasn't the spell. Well, that wasn't the skill, of course. We are going to explode, but that's fine. We don't actually take any damage. Back to full health. And that's what I was looking for. It's another source of arcane that happens to also be another great source of shield. I don't actually know what all these do. I assume that's going to give us... Okay, it's a mana boost buff. I'm actually totally fine having that. Because that event has changed. It used to be different. Which I realize is very descriptive. It's important to get that shield lined up for mana shield, even if it doesn't do anything. It's all about getting into good habits. We do want to get that sturdy set up because the extra shield, because that does actually do something for us. Because not only does it mean we are tough this turn, it also means we have extra shield sitting around. Let's see what that draws us. We don't have a good way to get through this purity, unfortunately. Although that works out pretty well. Oh, I have to do that now. It's a little unfortunate, but we've gotten less if we had played things the other way. So there's the adept gone. Although we don't have a weak or tough setup. We can freeze again though, but that means we don't do anything else this turn. I think not doing anything else this turn is not great for us. This only gets us, I would rather do that. Technically the shield did something, but you're just setting up Arcane Barrier, which not a huge deal. Means that we can't freeze with this, but with Adept we maybe could. With Adept and Weak, we definitely could. Adept and Vulnerable, I mean. Now we just need to find our big hit again, and we're good. Bye. So weird playing these non-idle runs where it's just everything's so simple and straightforward. Like we don't have to worry about Opportunist on every single fight, so we can just take Mana Font safely. That's basically useless to us. I don't see us ever taking stuff to make that valuable. It's interesting because we don't actually have any super high tier upgrades here, although I do really like getting 6 growth out of that. As far as removals go, I kind of just want to have a reroll token, I think. I don't think I have anything I want. Actually, yeah, I do, because I want to spend it at the end of this area, I think. Because as of this patch, if you give up a card upgrade or removal, you get a bonus reroll token. I think I would do this normally if I had the level 4 passive, but I don't. So that actually was enough to drop our recoverable, which is rude, I would say. I do actually kind of like just preventing that poison from coming out. Oh, and that's 30 frost, so we just immediately get to refreeze. That's pretty nice. Thinking through how we get to 0. I like this a lot. See if that kills you. It did not, but that will. One less problem to deal with. It's possible to come out of this at full health, although it's a little unlikely. Actually, I think I do want to go ahead and do the 1-2 punch here. Probably should have frozen that one, but I like it removing its own shield for us. I should upgrade whatever, so we have an extra turn of tough. The heavy stand, I mean. Bye. And we end at full health anyway, so everything's fine. I said I kind of wanted a Fair Crime. Alright. think both the cards from this are better now than they were, although I don't remember exactly what they do. This actually works out perfectly. We are going to be frostbitten and we are going to get frozen, but frozen is no longer the death sentence it used to be. And moreover, we can actually force ourselves to freeze, which is nice. We're just setting up for next turn. Although, getting that freeze out isn't the worst. Oh, that's not going to be enough? Now it is. So that'll be a detonation, but it won't be whatever. But we get to be tough. We do get frozen. That's okay. What do we not care about playing this turn? That and that. Keep slowly flanking our way through. Uh, 23, that is not enough. Now it is. Although freezing there was questionable because we didn't get anything out of it besides the actual freeze. I'm just like, I have mana, I can do it. I forget about the fact that it has retained, whatever it has retained now. Just in turn. We'll get frozen here, but again, not a huge problem. We can work with it. Yeah. Let's see what cards we get. Dead Chill Bolt seems pretty good. Shadow was also tempting. I mean, that does make picking up a strike kind of tempting, but I still don't think we want it. Especially because it cuts into our max shield and we don't have a ton of extra. Yeah, I think we probably upgrade this, get the extra turn of tough. I think that's going to matter. Let's see. I think we want to freeze you, just so you don't set up evasion. Especially when we have this weak setup to go. See what we draw. So I could get this off, but this gets us so close to this kill, and we shouldn't actually take any damage here. Yeah. Alright, so we do really want to freeze out this turn if we can, because we do not want to have to deal with the bleed that was incoming. See what we get. That both didn't help because we do not have our mana just doesn't work out great here. I was hoping to find some way to also point damage at the back one. Okay, so that's guaranteed to get us mana actually. Womp. Alright, so we are bleeding, but we only need 3 more damage, so. Pop. Cleansing Shield. We're going to need that later. I don't think we need to upgrade it yet, though. This is a very good upgrade, usually. Mana Font Plus is still very good. I think I actually kind of like that. Some people have said, people know, like, Mana Font used to only be gain 2 mana, draw 1. So technically speaking, the upgrade is now, like, not a straight upgrade all the time, because you do lose mana, technically. However, giving up 1 mana to draw an extra card is easily worth it, basically all the time. Just do that. Although obviously I would like to have played that heavy stand there. I also would have loved to have had an Arcane Nova before this fight. We may have Breathe Cleansing Shield going into area 2, because Crystal Valley right now desperately wants a lot of cleanse. Can we get to 0? Answer, no. Right? Oh, yes, we can, actually. Who do we freeze? You. Do we have enough shield for this turn? And we just don't have to deal with your nonsense? I could have gotten more damage if I'd blown this one up, but I was worried about the, whatever. But yeah, because you would have applied Vulnerable and Weak, and we would have gotten Arcane Detonated, which I did not want. I don't like using that just to clear out the purity, but I think it was better than our alternatives. Okay, I'm kind of glad that we didn't see Heavy Stand there, because I didn't want to have to make that choice. Get extra shields so we can just guarantee block this. We are going to explode, which is really rude because it's going to take away 3 of our mana this turn. 2 from mana boost and 1 from growth. Autopiloting a bit here, and that was kind of a mistake. Let's draw. I think we actually may just want to play this out so that we have the extra tough, especially with all this weak coming in. This is kind of awkward fight. We aren't amazing in the long game, but our failures in the long game don't become obvious until after we get a kill. Because that's when the debuffs will start spreading around. We cannot freeze you. Now can we freeze you? Yes. Which prevents an Arcane Detonation. Is that worth it? Probably. So we can kill you. We do, and then take a little bit of damage here, but we didn't have to give out too much actual powerful, which is kind of the goal usually with these, is to try and avoid, because the way that you lose, like I mentioned, like that our worst long game only becomes apparent once whatever happens. And what I meant by that is that it's the death spores that kind of are your benchmark for how your fight is going. And the more death spores that you allow to go off, the worse off you are. May as well play that. Okay, so I can freeze, but I don't think that's as valuable as some of the other stuff I can do here. I could kill this one outright, but I think it has too much death spores for me to want to do that. I think I'd rather bomb. Because if I can kill them at around the same time, because like the less health that they have, I don't love how close these arts are, but I know one day's aware of it. That's got to be on the list of things to fix. Or arts to update, rather. All right, we just do not have enough frost for... Oh, that will actually freeze you and detonate you. That seems good. And then like that. But yeah, because right now we're probably going to play this and it's going to put so much powerful on this back one. And that's where, like, if we had found an Arcane Nova, we'd be in a much better spot. Especially because once you have it down to just 1, they become more aggressive. I think we want that in the deck before we shuffle. I could get this off, but I think I'd rather get close to kill, because now we only need any of our damage sources, like so. All right. Yeah, I think this is good. It is expensive, but I think we can afford it. And we just keep hitting off our items. We are currently still at 0 items. We just keep hitting off our items that are really not helpful to us at all. I think we need Cleansing Shield Plus. And can we cut any mana? We might cut the Fairy Crime. And that leaves us with just 2 ways to freeze. But I don't know how good the Fairy Crime is for us at this point, although we do have some vulnerable sources, so it might be okay. We actually may cut the Infuse, because it's easily our weakest arcane source. So I don't know the cards in this area that well. I do know we want to avoid this fight, because this fight is just nonsense. It is ridiculously busted, and this fight is much, much easier. Although these fights are also probably a pain in the butt. We don't have enough cleanse, and it's going to hurt. I don't know what any monsters drop is kind of my problem. Because I just have not. So not having whatever here is actually a big deal. I think I just played that, which is kind of a lame way to spin the turn. But I think it's good to get some setup going. I don't know what you're doing to me, but I don't think I want it to happen. How about you don't? I should have just sequenced that differently, because I could have gotten out a little more shield, which would have actually mattered. You still have evasion. How about you don't scale up? All right, here's this, which the question is, what do we point it at? I can't do both of these unless I kind of waste the whatever, but I think that's worth it, because then we get 15 damage detonations, which is worth basically 15 extra damage there. Oof. Because I think we need this one to die. And that card is basically free because we ended up spending the mana either way. I'm going to do that, because this one's going to die to anything anyway. So I may as well get the extra damage on the Cobra. Alright, we are taking some damage. Alright, that will detonate on you. Which leads to the question, like, can we get to 0? The answer is yes. By doing that. Or more accurately, can we get to 0 while still accomplishing our goals? See what that draws. Alright. I think we'll just save the mana for next turn. Because, yeah, we want Curse of the Forest to actually go off. So that'll cost us, that'll leave us with 7. I don't hate that. And now we can play Curse. We would like to drain life next turn to get back some of the lost health. Let's see what cards we get. That is not terrible, but not really what we're looking for. Mana Barrier seems okay. And Mind Ruin seems pretty useful. So we finally have an item that helps. We're going to do the same fight again. And this is more important than the Corrupted Blast. I want to play Cleansing Shield this turn if I can. Looks like I cannot. It's going to cost me effectively 2 mana. Do I just want to play this out and do 20 damage to the U and heal? I think not. I think we want to do this. Yeah. Alright, there's our Cleansing Shield. Which will get rid of the Crystallize. slightly awkward sequencing there. I shouldn't have played the treasure. I should have just committed to that mana and I could have gotten a little bit extra. Freeze or damage? I think damage? Rude. So this will do, what is in the draw pile? So if we don't draw exactly Mana Font, we're kind of sad. Well, Dead Chill Bolt's okay here. But I think I would rather just do this, which should reduce us to taking pretty close to no damage. Yeah, 1 damage. Really need our Cleansing Shield back. Alright, so we can kill that one. And then freeze this one. There you are. Oh, whoops. Playing sloppily, but not getting punished, so it's fine. Yeah. I don't think I'm on board. I'd rather have Mind Blast. We'll see how Mind Blast feels. Honestly, this fight is still kind of a pain in the butt, and I don't super want to deal with it. It has a pretty good reward, but that fight can just murder you. I think that was one of our fights that was a problem. Was that last fight run, or was that a different run that I was doing? I can't remember. Again, like kind of awkward timing on this. That's Cleansing Shield over and over again. Like that's part of why we want another one, is so that we can't consistently get hosed on the timing. This is only going to give us 5 shield. That is not enough. Take 2 damage, but we get to keep that. Okay. And I think we do have to play that, because that growth is so important to us. Hoping to find Cleansing Shield early in the shuffle. No luck yet. There we go. Alright, so we're at 9. So, how do we play this out? We can freeze both of them. I really want to play this, but it doesn't work well with our focus. But it's worth a pretty considerable amount of damage. And it takes away the buffs over there. I think that's worth it. It's just 11 damage, which isn't a ton, but it's something. And then go do that. We want to get rid of that evasion before we play off this. So close, but it's still not quite there on damage. I think we just play that. Make sure we have plenty of mana for next turn, and then we should be able to finish things out. Hopefully this turn. Actually, do we want to try and stall for a turn just to get the extra 1 healing? I don't think so. Oh, or I can just not be paying attention. Let's finish you off because you have evasion set up. No luck. Well, we'll be down 1 whole health. Ooh. This could be good since we're going into Pay later. But I really do kind of like just having the power surge. Yeah, we'll just go to this event. There's one whole event for this area. It is pretty common right now, but it's post mid boss only, and it is the new super boss. But I don't know how to fight that one really, which makes me less interested in having this be the first. All right, and try and do that for the first time on here. All right, we will happily just say no to that happening. That has to happen, and we can eat damage because it's just that important that we get whatever off. Do we just get the shield out? Do we get vulnerable out? I think we just do this. I think it's too good not to. Although, again, not having the level 4 passive makes me sad, because that would have been worth 6 growth. Which would have been pretty nice to have. Unfortunately, there's no good way to sequence this. Because I want to get the growth out before I play that, but I just can't. It's not enough frost. That is. And pop goes one of the powerful stacks. Okay, there's the first of the eggs from breaking the shield. And the eggs are little dorks that we have to kill after we summon them. But that's only if their cards show up, which may not happen. Let's take away the powerful stack. And let's get the extra tough up. Okay, so we are shocked. But this is not a huge hit. We could play this and then just freeze out the egg. I'm pretty sure these dorks just try and spam crystallize on us. So mostly this is just slowing down our win. Oh, you're going to buff the eggs. In that case, we're just not going to play them out unless we can kill them that turn, because it's just not worth it. Oh, whoops. That'll kill you at least. Okay, that's not actually that bad. You can take that debuff. Pop. And I believe the, so we got 3 when we first cracked the shield. After that, it's every 30 health that the thing loses. There's a weak gone, which means that we can now pop. No, we're not going to play that. All right, we did get Arcane Detonator, which was kind of my worry because that gets rid of one of our powerful, which we have no way to get back. Just make sure we have plenty of weak. Slowly build our way up. Yeah, because you're going to buff the egg if we play it, so I don't think we want to. Because we can't freeze you. We can if we were to do this. But I don't think we care that much. It's funny, because like This one creates eggs you can ignore. It creates fewer of them, and they're probably easier to deal with. And the Brood Mother itself doesn't do anything to you. Meanwhile, over next door, the Screeching Spirit is like, I'm going to cause you problems, and I'm going to fill your deck with even more trash, and you don't get to control how often it happens, and it's going to do huge damage. But some of those are going to get nerfed. I don't know if I have a recording of it, but so you guys are aware, on this patch, one of the cards that the Screeching Spirit gives you, you instantly lose 4 health whenever you draw it. It costs 3 mana to play out, and when you play it, you draw 2, and you apply 4 fixed arcane to yourself, and he puts 4 of these in at a time. So that is, and it's going to be 5 if you're playing on with idols on. So that's like 16 to 20 health. You just lose. Nothing you can do about it. You just gone, bye. And then it costs you 12 mana to get rid of them. And if you draw back into them, you lose even more health. It's ridiculous. I do not know how One Day created that fight and thought it was fair alongside this one. Although I know that One Day is planning to nerf that other fight, which is kind of why I listed exactly what that card does right now. But there's a reason that in all of my idle runs, well, you haven't seen me do those that part of the idle runs, but in all of my idle runs, I just avoid ever going to Crystal Valley because it is on, especially on 5 idle, obnoxiously difficult. This is another thing that I think is going to change, but right now on 5 idle, if you play out a, or if you, let me start the sentence again. Right now in 5 idle, if an enemy creates cards, that effect is also boosted by the percentage, and so are summons from the enemy itself. But so what that means is that if you would have taken, say, it would have put 4 cards in your deck, then the 20% idle boost is going to mean that you instead have to deal with 5 cards, because 4 times 1.2 is, God, I'm bad at math, is 4.8, which rounds up to 5. See, the thing's like, we have so much trash in our deck, we just can ignore it in this fight. I don't think I care. It's not bad. I have a reroll token. Do I spend it here and try and go for... Yeah, I would really like to have an arcane. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Huh. I don't think that's what I'm looking for either. Twinning Ritual seems potentially interesting. I think we do upgrade Power Sword. I think I would like to have that extra powerful, since it's basically our only scaling. I think we just take another reroll token. Anyway, so on 3 idols, because when you're on 5 idle, the mid bosses have 3 active idols, which means that there's a plus 60% bonus, which means that if you would get 4 cards, instead you get 4 times 1.6, which is 6.4. So instead of getting 4 cards, you get 6 cards, which is ridiculous nonsense. Speaking of ridiculous nonsense, this fight. I think you give out a bunch of curse on turn 1, which I am not interested in. Should have done this in a different order. Oh, we played Twinning Ritual. I wasn't thinking. So, both of these jerks need to die, and they need to die now. But there's only so much I can do. I think it does even more curse this turn, because I think this one is one of the ones that scales up each turn. This is awkward. It means eating a decent amount of damage here, but I think we just have to play that out. I think the growth is so important to our ability to play out the rest of the fight. But yeah, we're now at 10 curse. We froze twice. We are at 10 curse on turn 3. That's ridiculous. This is why I don't go to this area, because it's just, right now it's just nonsense. Which I realize is my fault for not helping balance, but because like with the Bounding the Rampart series, the reason I recorded it was largely just like, so I had video evidence for like, this fight is a problem. But because I've been largely focusing on the idols up the difficulty of everything, which makes it harder for me to judge what is actually a problem and what only feels like a problem because I'm playing it with the idols enabled. I don't think I want to let you have I don't want to let either of you get your turns because you're both being jerks. But I think Hobble potentially does stuff with this one. Anyway, let's do that. Oh, I should have done that first. I wasn't thinking. Because now I can't get back up to it. That's okay, though. Why are you still doing 11? Oh. Oof. Yeah. I have to go through this fight again after this. This fight is nonsense. This is not an elite fight, by the way. This is just a regular fight, and it is more cursed than we would be dealing with in Area 3. And we have to deal with all this arcane on top of that. Can we kill you? We can get close. All right, we have to play this. But I don't think we can afford to leave that alive. Yeah, this is just brutal. This is without the trash cards and without me. Yeah, no, we're just going to die to this fight. This is unreal. There's no way. Yeah, this fight needs a nerf. Not just because I'm losing, but also because I'm losing. But because it's not just that I'm losing, it's that I'm losing and it's not close. Like, this isn't oopsie doodle, we nearly got there and we failed at the last hurdle. This is this fight. I guess we draw one because, like, we're dead anyway. Yeah, thanks. Okay, yeah, no, that was ridiculous. I feel entirely vindicated in my decision to avoid this area on my idle runs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch, make sure I didn't just like miscount turns, but I think that was turn 3 that we were. Maybe it was the start of our 4th turn. We were at 10 curse. That's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm not going to pretend I played that perfectly. There probably was a route through that. Like, I was obviously misplaying a lot in Area 1. But the fact that, like, we went from the mid-boss, where you saw how easy the mid-boss was, and then we go into this normal fight post-mid-boss, and we get completely dumpstered. Yeah, that's not okay in terms of balance. And in terms of my ability to not be tilted. So I will see you next time. Until then, toodles.